So here he asked me a puzzle, like it was face to face in our campus, right? So he said, I really like your campus. If I have to take your campus impact from here to Bangalore, how will I do it? With
Okay. Hello, everyone. Today we have with us Sudaina. She was my batchmate, 2020 batch from computer science department, and she has cracked Siemens software developer role. And today she's here with us to share with us her interview experience. Hi, Sudaina.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, hi everyone. My name is Sunana. Currently, I work as a software developer at Siemens Healthineers. Like you guys, I was placed from campus placements 2 years back around. Yeah.
Okay.
So, my interview experience was pretty much normal like any other companies. There were around 4 rounds. The first round was online round. It had around 45 MCQs questions, I would say. Yeah, MCQs. And after this, there were around like out of 150, 30 people cleared it. So then the technical interviews started. So for me, there were two technical interviews and then one HR managerial round. For a few people, it was just one technical and then HR. It depends on the panel. So I had two technicals and one HR.
So, how was the pattern of the questions and difficulty levels?
I would say it was pretty moderate. Like any of the subjects, if you just know basics of those and if you're able to communicate what you know, I think you'll be good to go. You don't have to
Okay.
do a lot of study for it or a lot of practice of coding. You just have to be good at problem solving. That's all. So I'll just first tell about the online round. So there will be some verbal related questions, MCQs like text completion, the basics that you can find in any of the Geek for Geeks. You can just go there and you can find those questions. There were then quant related like time, speed, work. Those are questions basics. You can just go like moderate ones. And then there were also technical MCQs, which had like C, C++, Java. And one thing that took everyone by surprise was C sharp related MCQs were there. So
Okay.
just brush up those, like very basics of C sharp. But yeah, like just brush up those skills as well. If you know C sharp and C++, you can like easily clear this round. It's not a big deal. So then this
Okay.
happened, and for my first technical round, it lasted I think around 1.5 hour or something. And it was so that it was on the same day that I had taken the online round, and it started at around 6 o'clock for me in the evening. So just don't be tired in case something is scheduled right after your online round. So it lasted like 1.5 hours. It started with basics like string pointers. The interviewer first asked me to like tell me about myself and then the resume. He just glanced through my resume. Then he started with this basics of like data structures. He was asking me what is DFS, what is BFS. They don't really expect you to code all of these, but you just it's good to have a knowledge of all of these concepts. Or like there's towers of Hanoi. You might not know how to code it, but it's good to understand the puzzle and just keep in mind what happens and how you can solve it. So that, and then there were some networking related questions. It was about what is a packet, what is a TCP header, and also like in the TCP header he asked me one question where usually we know the what all are the columns, but we don't know if we can skip any of those columns and still it would be fine. So he asked me such twisted questions they'll ask you, but you can just say if you don't know, you can just be honest to them and you can just say I don't know, or you can just help me out or give me some hint. They will be like ready to give you some help. And then there was some OS related questions like basic scheduling problems and all of those. Like you can just glance through those OS concepts once. Just that's all. The interview ended actually pretty well, but before that he asked like a really weird, tricky puzzle. So there you can definitely expect some really weird puzzles by end of all the rounds. So here he asked me a puzzle, like it was face to face in our campus, right? So he said, I really like your campus. If I have to take your campus impact from here to Bangalore, how will I do it?
Okay.
Without making it or without, yeah,
Mhm.
like doing anything. So the thing was, I started coming up with lot of different ways. Like I remember giving him so many stupid but little sensible answers. I told him I'll bring a huge truck which will put the campus in that, and I'll take it away. Like at the end of the interview, I got to know that there was no such answer for it. He was just testing different creative answers that I'll come up with.
Mhm.
So that was the thing. Even if they ask you some really weird puzzles, don't be shocked. Just give your
Okay.
creative answers. They'll just see how creative you can get and what all you can bring out of it. So this
Right.
was my first technical, and then there was second technical, which was the next day. So second technical mostly involved around OOPS concepts and data structures algorithms. He started off with OOPS. So OOPS concepts, I would say one thing is if you are explaining any one of the concept, let's just say encapsulation or abstraction, don't directly say your mugged up answer. Do give one real life example. They'll like literally appreciate you if you do that. If you just say this is how I'll take a base class, I'll do this, then they'll not understand it. Just give
Mhm.
some real life example that will like give you
Mhm.
brownie points or something. So
Right.
then that algorithms, he was asking me about merge sort, quick sort, complexities, and some modifications there. And again, Tower of Hanoi, he asked me that, which I was like very surprised that they asked me. But you just need to have a basic understanding of what that puzzle is. You don't need to code it. Mostly, they will not ask you to code it unless there's some problems with you, or if you're not confident in answering. But
Mhm.
you can just say, this is what I know, this is what I don't know. That would be sufficient. And then again, the puzzles came up. So he asked me one really weird puzzle. He said, in your campus, how many trees are there? Did you count? Or it was like, in a day, how many writing pads are sold in Hubli? So these questions don't really have like a good proper answer, but you can just say like, I remember for trees I said maybe our campus is like this much acres. So if I divide each acres and I'm assuming in each acre there are like 3 trees, then I'll multiply that number. I just gave
Mhm.
some mathematical reasoning there, and he said okay, fine. So
Mhm.
you can just do that. You can just
Right.
say this is how I'm going to solve. You can just say that this is what I'm assuming is, and you can just solve
Mhm.
it. There's like no definite answer for it, but they'll definitely test, like as I said, your creative ways of how you come out. So this was pretty much it, like the second technical. And then there was HR round. So in HR round there were actually two people. So for me, it's very important, and I don't know if this is how they do it usually. That one person is exactly like opposite to you, and there's another one person who is like towards your left. So they do see if you are keeping an eye contact with both of them. So that's important. I don't think this will be applicable this year.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
still, like, do keep an eye contact with your at least in
Mhm.
HR round.
Mhm.
So that it was pretty much basics, like how do you know about Siemens? Have you talked to anyone who is working in Siemens? How were your
Mhm.
interviews? Tell me something about any of the case in your real life where you were like leader, you took up some ownership and all those. So
Mhm.
it was more of like your personality based questions.
Mhm.
So also they'll definitely ask you like how do you know about Siemens and all. So just make sure that you give some genuine answers. In my case, I knew about Siemens way back when I watched a documentary about some. I was watching some medical related documentary and I got to know about Siemens. So
Mhm.
that is how I answered to them, and they were like, "Okay, this is something new." So
Okay.
make sure you like tell them genuinely how you got to know about it. Don't
Mhm.
really try to
Right.
fake it.
Mhm.
So it was like pretty much it. Then we got to know that we were hired. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, we can move on to some commonly asked questions. Does CGPA matter for Siemens?
No, generally it doesn't matter. There's definitely a cap for it. As much as I remember, there was like some 7.5 something cap. If you are like
Hmm.
above 7.5, it's like they don't really care. We are like
Okay.
equal. Above 7.5, everyone is equal to you.
Hmm. How was the question difficulty over different rounds, like from online to further rounds?
I would say it was pretty much moderate. Like there
Hmm.
was no fluctuation there. What you
Hmm.
will see in online rounds, similar will be happening to you in technical rounds as well. So it's not like no, I don't think there's like any difficulty there.
Okay. But the competition, I think, will be reduced
Yeah,
drastically, right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
will
That
drop.
is one thing. Like if you are able to clear online round, your half of your job is done. I would say that. That is like
Hmm.
more. If you see the proportion, right? Like out of 150, just 30 were selected. So I would
Hmm.
say that focus on that.
Right.
That is what I did. I remember this was like my weakness. I was facing difficulties during the online rounds. Just
Hmm.
7 days before Siemens visiting us, I stopped all of my technical preparations and I was just focusing on online rounds. So if
Hmm.
you are someone who is facing the same, just focus on online rounds. That's like more than enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are interviews only about solving the questions that are given, or more things get factored in, like your soft skills, communication, thinking ability, handling pressure, and all?
Yeah, yeah. Like I definitely think it's more about your overall personality, how you are as a human being. As I said, right, there were puzzles being asked to me which didn't even have any answers. So in
Hmm.
that case, your preparation will not make any sense. They
Hmm.
just see how different or how creatively you will come at that same point.
Hmm.
So that is like they don't really check only your studying ability or something like that. You just have to be yourself. That's all.
Got it. Does a programming language matter?
No, it doesn't. They don't really specifically ask you, but do glance on OOPS, Java or C++. But apart from that, any programming language is fine.
Okay. What suggestions do you have for candidates before the interview? Let's say if 2 3 days are there.
2 3 days are there. Okay, I would suggest this is what I did, and I would suggest you guys also to do is just go online and search for cheat sheets of like DSA or OS or networking. You will like have plenty of resources there, so you can just quickly glance. And also one more thing is don't try to grasp any new concept or topic right now. In 2 3 days, there's nothing that you can study, so instead of just panicking and studying it, just drop that concept. Whatever you know, just glance through those, brush up your basic skills. That's enough. Even if the concept occurs which you don't know, just tell them, be honest with them and just tell them I couldn't study it or something. They'll understand. It's nothing like you're
Yeah.
giving an exam or something. So they'll
Mhm.
understand it.
Right. What suggestions do you have for candidates during the interview?
Okay, so during the interview, one thing that will catch an eye is if you're making an effort. So if you're joining the meet, so do make sure to greet them first before they do you. So that would help. I
Mhm.
remember I had my interview. We were in like we give interviews in person, right? So as soon as I entered the room, I asked for my interviewer if I can sit. So may I have a seat is what I asked.
Mhm.
So he liked that. He was like, okay, you're new who is asking me for these permissions and all.
Mhm.
So do like put some small extra efforts which will grab their attention so that
Mhm.
your next like the entire interview experience will go good. So do make sure like your behavior throughout the interview is really good. So I remember my first technical round, my interviewer almost made me feel like he's gonna reject me. That is how he almost ended it. And but still, I was smiling. And at the end of the day, he was like, "Okay." So just make sure that you are constant throughout the interview. So just don't get sad if it's going bad. It's not going your way. You might not know
Mhm.
it is going good, so just
Mhm.
don't get demotivated if your interviewer is like showing you some signs that he's gonna reject you or something.
Mhm. Got it. So, any suggestions for after interview?
After interviews, yes. The one thing that I would say is after each round, just remember what happened in that round because from my personal experience, I'll say when my second technical round started, the first question that my interviewer asked me was, "How was your first technical round? What all did you learn from it? Were you able to solve this or no? And did you come up with the optimized solution if you were unable to answer it then?" So like you can do this for all the rounds. If you have
Mm.
like technical rounds, just do a summary of what all happened in that round and just learn from whatever you missed from that round. You never know, they might ask in the second round as well, so just be prepared of that. Another thing, overall interview, you can just reflect on where you went good or where you went bad, and you can just do well for the next one. That's all.
Right. Any pro tips that you want to share?
Pro tips, I would say, right now, like since you guys have time constraint, I would say just go through the cheat sheets and get good sleep. There's nothing that you need to be scared or nervous of.
Mm.
Just think of it like a conversation with your friend. Usually
Mm.
people assume that interviews are like exams, so they get scared. So you just have to treat it like a conversation.
Mm.
That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about roll of luck?
Uh, it does have some impact, I would say, only in the online round
Mhm.
because in online round you never know. In our case, like everybody had gotten different set of questions, so some might get easy, some might get tough. So that completely depends on your luck. But after you clear the online round, it's completely up to you how you drive the interview. So there's no luck there.
So, what did you say about mindset, like overcoming nervousness or being confident in interviews?
Yes. So yes, that is one major thing that you can like talk about interviews is it doesn't really involve in online round. You can just showcase your like skills. You can solve the questions, but once the interviews start, then it's all about how well you are communicating with them and how much confident you are. Even if you don't know the concepts, you can just confidently tell them, this is how much I know, I have learned this much, I couldn't understand this part, so I didn't go like I didn't study it further. You just have to be honest and be yourself, that's all. And also be confident because they don't really want to hire you if you can't speak up. So
Mm.
just focus on that part. Yeah.
Got it. Any other personal experiences like funny incidents during interview?
Yeah, so in my first round of interview, so back then I gave this interview like 2 years back. So we used to print out our resumes to hand it over to the interviews, right? So
Mm.
what happened is usually people used to get a printout of A4 size sheet on the normal sheets. So in
Mhm.
my case, for some reason, it just happened like some goof up happened when I went to the printing shop and it got printed on the most like thickest paper. And then when I handed over my resume, the first thing that my interviewer saw was he looked at it and he was like, "What is this?" So I said, "It's my resume." And he was, "Why is it so thick?" So I said it just happened by mistake that it got printed and I bought it anywhere. So for that, I think he asked me like three, four questions. He said, "Why didn't you replace one?" So I said, "It's already printed for me. So why will I replace it? I'll just use it." So he said, "Okay, you saved money there. You didn't go for another one." And at the end, he told me like, "You do accept that this is like just some genuine mistake happened, right?" So and I said, "Yeah, yeah, that is what I'm saying. Like it was a genuine mistake and it was nothing intentional. Like I didn't want it to grab your attention by printing something so big." So then he says, "Okay, it's good that you are accepting your mistakes. I see you are accepting your mistakes." So there he just saw my personality. He got to know I'm someone who accepts my mistake when I do something wrong. So he
Mm.
was like, okay, he liked that part. So just make sure even if something out of like completely out of the box goes wrong, also you just have to be yourself. That's all.
Mm.
That
Got it.
was one fun incident. He in fact called my resume some like menu card or something. It was big of a restaurant menu card or something. So we were just having a laugh there. Me and interviewer are having a laugh about this, but it was nothing serious. Just
Hmm.
one thing that happened.
Yeah. So can you share a bit about your onboarding experience, internship, and how's the work from home going on?
Yeah, yeah. So the first thing is our internship was scheduled to be for around 4.5 months from Jan to May. So we were onboarded there in Bangalore in January. So it was 2020, still before COVID. So we were asked to go to like Bangalore, and we started work like our internship from Bangalore itself. And around mid, we like faced this COVID situation somewhere around March, and then we were asked to go back to home. And then it continued like till May. We worked for our internship till May, and then our full time started in around September, and that was completely virtual. So we had like virtual onboarding. We had like 1 week of virtual onboarding ceremonies happening. So everything was virtual then. So that's like, yeah, we were like the laptops and all. It was like courier to our house. Everything was sent to our house. So we started work from home. Siemens has lots of benefits. I remember in our internship, like first 14 days, we were given a stay in a hotel. So that is where we made like lots of friends. That is a good opportunity that you can use. So apart from that, like we had free food, we had free transport to communicate, like commute from office to our hotels. And then during our virtual onboarding, when we got onboarded virtually in as a full time, then we were given like extra 20, I think 20K for work from home setup and all those. You get those benefits. And then apart from those, like if there are some festival coming up, or if there's new year, you get like Amazon gift cards, and those all things happen. And
Okay.
then again, you have like there are like lots of other increments that keep happening in between. All of those will happen, so you don't need to
Hmm.
worry about those all things. You also get
Right.
like around 14 to 15 days off during the New Year and Christmas holidays, like around 14 to 15 days. So that is
Oh,
also
okay. Yeah,
nice
nice.
work here.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're looking forward to it now. It's almost near.
Yeah,
Hmm.
almost there.
Yeah. I think that's all that we planned for this session. Uh, Thank you, Sunena, for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I hope this was helpful.